Hey everybody, Ryan Hippensteel, surveyor and resident at DroneDeploy. Today I want to quickly talk to you about setting your aerial targets on your existing ground control network. If you're a staff surveyor, or maybe you've contracted a professional surveyor, you already have a network of points that are used for GPS bases, levels, etc. These points are used to stake out roads, stake out property lines, set utilities, maybe set footers when the houses are being built here. Why not tie your aerial work to that control network? It gives you far more confidence than a random target set in the middle of your site. If you have a long duration project, it's very, very likely that you already have paid for a survey control network on site. So why not utilize it, get the biggest bang for your buck out of it? As you can see, this is how my rod would typically be set up on it. So this has already been established. That rebar already has a northing and an easting and an elevation on it, right? We can utilize that in our aerial work. We don't have to set a random target out in the field somewhere. We don't have to do an autonomous GPS solution for our aerial work. We can utilize existing ground control. This is just one style. Something I might use for this style of control is a modular tripod like this. Adjust my HI, surveyor can do that in the field, and have this target still flush with the ground, which is where we want it for the best photogrammetric process. We're continuing to look at the idea of utilizing existing control. If this target happened to be set on an existing nail, you could use the same process. In this case, I'm only using this as a checkpoint. Again, checkpoints are going to give you really good relative accuracy within the actual stitching of your aerial flight and photogrammetry, whereas your GCPs are going to give you absolute accuracy, providing coordinates for the job. In this case, I just want to set something in this rough vicinity, so I've chosen this bearer spot. Again, recently heard that GCPs are hard to set. It just depends on what you're setting them in. I wouldn't recommend a giant gauge nail in gravel or dried clay. There's a lot of different things you can use. Some people use tent stakes. I've got a couple plastic nails that came with these targets. You kind of see they go in pretty quickly. The other thing I'm using is a landscape nail, landscape staple. You can get those really, really cheaply from about anywhere. Those go in really nice. And they kind of tack down the corner really well. These fabric targets are very affordable. They're very portable. Setting them on variety of materials with different fasteners is really pretty easy. So this location actually has a piece of survey ground control already set. There's a nail at the center there. So I can't move the target around, right? I want to lock my aerial work today into my ground survey work. And so I have to set it here. This just needs to last for 20-25 minutes while I have my flight in the air today. Also, I'll give you a little bit of a trick too. Maybe you've experienced this setting up a tent or something while you're camping. Driving straight down into the ground can sometimes hit rocks or be a little bit inefficient. So you can kind of see I've just started these at an angle. This makes getting them into the ground a little bit easier. The other benefit you have here is that it kind of stretches your target out as you set them. And so, again, use something a little bit smaller gauge. Try to go at an angle if you have to. We're not trying to build a house here. We're not trying to set a footer. You don't need to use a giant sledgehammer. Try this, get your target stretched out, make sure you're centered on your point, set up your rover, and you're probably out of here in 60 seconds. So in this example of ground control, I've got something that's also very common. It's a concrete mag nail set in pavement. So for this type of example, for as quick as it is for you to unfold a fabric target, center it on that. It's not a windy day here today where I'm at. If it's windy, you might weigh this down with a couple nails or a couple rocks just laid on it, maybe some tape underneath it. But in general, for a short flight, I've got about a 25-minute flight plan today. I'm confident that this target's not going to go anywhere. So this GCP isn't hard. This doesn't take any more time than setting a random target in the middle of the field on our project. We're simply laying a fabric target over, centered on the mag nail itself. So when you're conducting your aerial flight and tagging your GCPs afterwards, you know that the point you're tagging is the mag nail that was set by your staff surveyor or your contract surveyor already. This gives us confidence that our ground data and our aerial data is tied together, and also gives us a bit of redundancy to check things and troubleshoot things if something looks amiss. Highly recommended, very fast, very easy, affordable, and efficient. Utilize your ground control for your aerial work, and you'll gain confidence in the accuracy of your data. For your next project, talk to your CAD guy, talk to your project manager, talk to your GIS guy before you start the project. Then tell your surveyor to set targets in the field that can also be used for aerial work. Then do your aerial work, set your targets aligned with your ground control. If it's a rebar, if it's a mag nail out in a road, set your targets, paint your targets, get portable targets, lay them over your survey ground control. I can guarantee you're gonna have more confidence in your data streams are gonna be more aligned, your surveyor is gonna be happy, you're gonna be happy, your quantities are gonna be happy. Give it a try, please. Coordinate reference systems are really important. It's much easier to figure them out and establish them at the beginning before a job. And at the end, when you've got misaligned data, or worse yet, a ground strike that you can't figure out why the two maps didn't align of where something was. Try it out, get back with me. Let us know here at DroneDeploy if utilizing coordinate systems makes your life easier. Thanks.